All right, so for today's explainer, we're doing something a little different. Our source material isn't some dense research paper or a breaking news story. Instead, we're diving into something way more intimate. It's a collection of these fragmented, typewritten texts that kind of feel like little poems someone just discovered on scraps of paper. They're really raw, they're immediate, and they're basically asking us to piece together a story from all these clues. So yeah, let's start putting this puzzle together.
And this first piece, wow, it just perfectly sets the stage for our entire journey today. Walking slowly is a poem only half as fast as often. That's such a beautiful instruction, isn't it? It's like it's telling us to change our own rhythm, to slow down not just our feet, but our minds, to start seeing the poetry that's already there in all those simple, everyday moments that we usually just rush right past.
So before we can really get into what these fragments are saying, we've got to talk about how they're saying it. Because with this kind of art, the medium is a huge part of the message. It's not just background noise.
I mean, the artist made a super deliberate choice here. In an age of spell check and the delete key, they reached for a typewriter. Just think about that for a second. Every single keystroke is permanent. Every mistake, every little smudge of ink, every uneven letter, it all becomes part of the final piece. There's a weight to it, a finality that a computer screen just can't touch.
And this just perfectly nails the whole idea. The fragment playfully calls the typewriter a word processor that won't allow you to use the same word twice. It's so clever, right? It just perfectly captures both the limitations and the creative challenge of using this old tech. It forces you to be precise, it pushes you to think in new ways, and it totally celebrates all those beautiful imperfections in the process.
Okay, so now that we've got a feel for the typewriter's voice, let's dig into what it's actually talking about, starting with these incredible snapshots of the everyday world.
What's so effective here is the contrast. On one side, you have the subway of cities. You can almost feel that dense, underground world of noise and people. On the other, the sun goes behind the buildings. This quiet, simple observation of the natural world being framed by the man-made one. Put them together and you get this amazing, layered portrait of urban life. What's happening just below our feet and just above our heads. So, after setting the scene with these vertical slices of the city, the artist's lens zooms in on the people. And this line, it just completely messes with their expectations. It suggests that the whole performance of being a tourist, the costumes and spaces, is something maybe even the locals adopt. It really makes you question who's performing for whom in a city, and where the line between authentic life and public spectacle really is. And just as we start to analyze these bigger social dynamics, the perspective shifts again. We move from the anonymous crowd to this incredibly specific, quiet moment. You can almost feel the cold bottle, see the generic label. It's a snapshot of loneliness, a moment that is both very ordinary and deeply personal. It's what grounds the entire collection in these small, tangible human experiences. So, from these observations of the world, the collection now turns inward. It starts a dialogue with art itself, grappling with the whole struggle of being a creator. Just look at the power in this list. The artist isn't just one thing. They are all of these at once. An art warrior fighting to create, an art victim subject to failure, an art survivor, and an art refugee just searching for a home for their work. It's such a raw, honest depiction of all the contradictory identities an artist has to carry around.
And the crucial point in this piece is the vulnerability. This is basically a confession. It pulls back the curtain on the social world of art, the compliments, the networking, the professional niceties. That last phrase, "I was not quite lying," man, that's just devastatingly honest. It lives in that gray area between a white lie and a difficult truth, a space where, let's be real, so much of our social interaction happens.
This all brings us to the very heart of the collection, where the fragments move beyond just art and into life's biggest questions: love, loneliness, and the whole search for meaning.
This is the question that seems to echo under so many of these texts. You know, if life is just a series of disconnected moments, of torn pages and half-finished thoughts, how do we find something to hold on to? Where's the connection? Where's the hope in all that? And this piece offers a profound, if complicated, answer. It's a paradox, right? If hope goes with there is only no hope. That sounds pretty bleak at first, but then it offers this strange comfort, just some hopelessly lovely anonymity. It suggests that even in the absence of hope, there can be a kind of beautiful, anonymous peace. Maybe the meaning isn't in finding what we're looking for, but in what we find when we finally stop searching so hard.
What a powerful image for self-sabotage. This fragment just perfectly captures that feeling of being your own worst enemy. You see the exit, the opportunity, that desperate place in a door, but you are the very thing blocking your own path. It's a concise and deeply relatable expression of internal conflict.
So where does this all lead? After sifting through all these scattered fragments, let's look at the final themes that pop up: compromise, progress, and what ultimately endures.
Two simple words, but they carry so much weight. Or second best, this fragment speaks volumes about the compromises we make in life. It's about the reality that things don't always turn out perfectly, that sometimes we have to settle, and that maybe accepting that is just part of the human experience.
Here's another brilliant metaphor, this time for progress. We often think of moving up, in a career, in a relationship, in life, as this purely positive thing. But this piece suggests that advancement can be disorienting, even nauseating. Reaching a new height can give you altitude sickness, making you question where you are and what you left down below.
And after all the struggle, the compromise, and the disorientation, we arrive here. Only love made. In the end, this simple phrase cuts through all the noise. It suggests that out of everything we do and experience, the things created from love are what truly last. It's the fundamental, enduring force.
And this is how the artist, Zach Houston, leaves us. It's not an answer, it's a philosophy. In question, it's everything. He's telling us that the ultimate meaning isn't found in some final, neat conclusion. The meaning is in the act of questioning itself. The curiosity, the search, the uncertainty. That is where everything important lies.
Ultimately, this collection doesn't give us a tidy narrative. It gives us a mirror. It leaves us with this final, lingering question to turn back on ourselves. Our own lives are collections of fragmented memories, conversations, and moments. The art here is to ask, which pieces do we choose to keep? How do we arrange them? And what story do they tell when we put them all together?